isn't fascinated by space? If you are traveling to Florida, especially the space coast of Cape Canaveral, Titusville, and the Cocoa Beach area, I recommend spending at least one day at the Kennedy Space Center. This is also a great addition to add to the beginning or end of a cruise leaving from Port Canaveral. Welcome to Sarah's Scuba and Travel channel. In this video, I want to share some highlights with you to include in your next visit to Kennedy Space Center. First of all, I recommend purchasing your tickets online before your arrival. You can buy tickets for 1 day or 2 days of admission. If you only have 1 day, that's okay. But after visiting this amazing attraction, I can definitely see the need for a second day to really see and experience everything this place has to offer. I recommend considering purchasing 2 add-on enhancements as well. The first is the KSC Explore Tour. The second is the Chat with an Astronaut. Both of these are timed activities, so make sure you plan accordingly when purchasing your tickets. If you have plans to visit 2 days, you may want to consider other add-ons like the Land and Drive on Mars training stage, Walk on Mars training stage, the Microgravity training stage, or possibly the Astronaut training experience. Upon arrival, you will need to pay for parking. The machines at the self-pay lines can be a little finicky, but take your time. You will get through. I recommend getting to the visitor complex before the doors open. You have a lot to see, and what you will quickly find is not a lot of time. Once you enter the park, you will walk past the Heroes and Legends attraction, which celebrates the pioneers of NASA's early space program and includes the U.S. Astronaut Hall of Fame. To be honest, we did not get a chance to explore this attraction, as we immediately went to Rocket Garden. The Rocket Garden contains rockets from the Mercury, Apollo, and Gemini programs. The enormity of these rockets is humbling when standing next to them. There are 20-minute guided tours of the garden that are available. I highly recommend joining one as soon as you enter the center. The tours are free and offer a lot of interesting facts about the rockets that you do not get from simply walking around the garden. If you selected the morning chat with an astronaut, it is most likely getting close to your entry time at this point. Therefore, you will want to make your way over to the building, which will take you past the Universal Theater, NASA Central, and the Mars rover. The chat with an astronaut is approximately an hour. The morning chat includes a continental breakfast and 1 alcoholic beverage. Each attendee received a signed autograph of the astronaut and a coin. We had the pleasure of chatting with astronaut Tony Antonelli during our visit. He was the most down-to-earth and encouraging speaker. He formatted his talk in a Q&A style format after a short introduction. He treated every question with respect and was highly supportive of the children in the crowd. Even some adults, my husband, turned into children at the talk. It was amazing to hear his perspective of where we are today as far as the space program and where we are going, as well as his perspective of humanity and how we are destroying the planet based on his experiences in space. I highly recommend this experience to everyone visiting the complex. It is appropriate for all ages. After the presentation, make your way over to the Gateway, the Deep Space Launch Complex. This complex offers interactive displays of the science of current missions to the International Space Station and upcoming missions to explore deep space. This includes visionary designs of spacecrafts and living quarters for the future. Another attraction in this building is the Spaceport KSC, where you can choose from 4 different missions. These are simulator rides that take you on various journeys through space. Once you are done exploring the Gateway facility, head over to the Space Shuttle Atlantis building. Before entering the exhibit, you will work your way through a series of short films introducing you to the shuttle program. Upon exiting the program, you will be greeted by the enormity of the Space Shuttle Atlantis. It is incredible to see it in person. To be honest, videos and pictures do not do it justice. The facility has exhibits dedicated to the Hubble telescope, various astronaut training simulators, the Forever Remembered Memorial honoring the astronauts that lost their lives on the Challenger and Columbia missions, the shuttle launch experience, and so much more. You can easily spend hours in this building alone. However, we don't have that much time, because at this point, it is probably getting close to your afternoon bus tour. The Visitor Center offers free bus tours with general admission. However, as I stated previously, I recommend purchasing the KSC Explore Tour. The tour lasts about 2 hours on an air-conditioned motor coach. The KSC Explore Tour will take you through various areas of Kennedy Space Center, as well as out to the observation tower and Launch Complex 39, making stops along the way. It does make a stop at the vehicle assembly building, however, you do not get to go inside. You can take a walk on an original catwalk, and you can explore other artifacts at this site. The final stop is the Apollo Saturn V Center. The Apollo Saturn V Center honors the mission to the moon. Your entry starts with a brief informative video and extends into a mission control room where you can experience the thrill of what it was like sitting in the control room during the launch of Apollo 8. Once you are released into the main exhibits, you will be hit with the enormity of the Saturn V, which is the largest rocket ever flown. It extends from one end all the way to the other end of the building. This thing is enormous and so awe-inspiring when you're in front of it in person. In this facility, you also have the opportunity to see the real Lunar Module 9 from Apollo. There's a short show in the Lunar Theater discussing our first mission to the moon, which eventually leads into the Apollo Treasures Gallery, which contains an Apollo spacecraft, spacesuits, and other artifacts from the Apollo missions. You can touch a moon rock and explore other exhibits throughout the facility as well. When you are done, take one of the mini buses back to the main visitor center. At this point, it is probably getting close to the end of your day. I recommend making a stop at the space shop, not necessarily to buy souvenirs, but to see another piece of history. On the second floor of the gift shop, you will find the actual service arm that the crew of Apollo 11 walked across. You can walk across the same platform as Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. It is a pretty awesome experience when you think about it. Whether you are a space fanatic or not, I recommend at least a day trip to the Kennedy Space Center. I think you will leave with a greater understanding and appreciation for what so many scientists, engineers, and astronauts have accomplished over decades of space exploration. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit that like button. If you would like to support future productions, you can do so by donating through a super thanks button, or by buying me a snack using the link in the description below. Please join the Facebook group and follow me on Instagram for more content.